In the midst of life's chaos, how do we find inner peace? Keiosha shares her journey of embracing calm within the storm.
Welcome to Authentic, where real stories meet real hearts. This is your sanctuary, a space for truth, transformation, and tender conversations. Here, we unmask the pressure to reform and lean into who we really are. Whether you're searching, healing, or rising, we see you. You are allowed to look good, feel good, and leave this space feeling bold. So, take a breath, be still, and come home to you. This is Authentic.
Keiosha Cousins is a woman shaped by resilience, faith, and purpose. Born in Jamaica and raised in the Cayman Islands from the age of 8, her journey has been one of growth, discipline, and learning how to find peace within the chaos. At just 15, she stepped into the legal field, building strength early and carrying the discipline into her role today as a legal assistant, while pursuing her Bachelor's of Science in Psychology with a minor in Human Resource Management. Driven by her love for people, Keiosha is also an entrepreneur, co-founder of Gridline Architects, and the owner of a home-based travel agency, creating opportunities through vision and independence. Creativity became her refuge after the loss of her grandfather, using music as a way to heal, reflect, and find stillness in difficult moments. Grounded in faith and guided by gratitude, Keiosha moves forward with confidence, surrounded by a small, meaningful circle. She represents discipline, purpose, and authenticity. This is Keiosha Cousins, and this episode of Authentic is finding peace within the chaos. Welcome to
another episode of Authentic. I'm your host, Rayon, and I want to say thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Authentic, streaming on CMR TV. Remember to follow the show, follow me on social media at Coach Lorenzo RF. Today we have a very special interview and I have very special guests with me.
Hi everyone, I'm Keiosha Cousins and I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you, Keiosha, for joining us today. It's going to be a very impactful interview. Today we're talking about finding peace within the chaos. And I know you're probably wondering what in the park is going on. We're in the lovely area of so much again for joining us for Authentic, and thank you so much for being here. So my first question to you is, who is Keiosha Cousins in your own words?
Well, if I'm being honest, I think personally I'm just so complex. I couldn't put it into words. I have different phases. So say I give you an answer now, next month you might get something
I cannot. You're interchangeable.
Yes.
All right, multifaceted queen. All right.
But what I can say, I know that I'm very ambitious. I'm overachieving.
Love it.
I have a fear of disappointment. So
that's rational.
Yeah. But overall, I'm just a very empathetic person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. And my second question to you is, what has been the biggest moment of chaos in your personal journey recently? Because we're talking about finding peace within the chaos. So what would you say?
If I'm being honest, this year a lot happened. I started a business, I got married, I left UCCI to actually join UE and start my bachelor's. And it's through all of that, I lost so many friends, and I don't know if I know it's definitely not something I do, and I know people grow apart, but it's just it's people who I thought would support me, or, you know, through all of this, probably I can say 2% have truly stuck with me and motivate me, but definitely just starting everything, it was new, so it was scary. I mean, UE is a completely different
ball
environment.
Game. Oh yeah, that's a totally different ball game.
So my degree is online, so I have to have a lot of discipline.
The discipline to actually follow through, yeah.
Yes, and just through everything, even with getting married, people who I thought, as I said, would be there weren't. So I'm just learning to continue my life.
I'll touch a little bit on that, because even for me, starting my own personal journey and even starting Authentic, I mean, Authentic is a whole totally new ball game. Yeah. It's about healing, it's about health, it's about mental wellness and all that. And especially in the Black community and young people, we don't really talk about those things.
True.
And I get it could be a lonely and a scary route. And the funny enough, I do my online content, and I did a video talking about when you see certain signs, life is actually revealing certain things to you.
Yeah.
And what I would say to you is, you're vibrating at a higher level. And life has this way of eliminating low vibrational people. No shade, I don't know who you are. Eliminating low vibrational people for you to go to that next level. It's almost like a balloon, and it has those weights on it. And in order for that balloon to actually transcend, you have to release the weight and, soar to higher height, new heights. But trust me, the lesson is in the journey. And also sometimes you're going to a higher and a better place. But I love that. I love that for you. Commendations. When I see young people doing their thing, I'm telling you, I lift my hats off to you.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you. Continue doing your thing. And especially as a young Black female, girl, go on do your thing. Okay, so my other question is, how did you find peace and grounding yourself during that time?
Well, I mean, as I said, I'm very ambitious, and I know what I want out of life. So while friendships and, external relationships is great, no one is going to do anything for me. So I can't really let that determine or delay then the goals I have for myself. So it was hard, but I'm just I'm talking friendships of over 5 years.
Oh, wow.
So I just had to tell myself, I'm going to do this whether or not this person is here, because at the end of the day, I'm the one living my life. And if 5 years from now I'm not where I want to be, I'm the one that's going to have to sit with that.
Agreed.
And even with Yui too, I mean, it took a lot, showing up to classes when I could just be lying in my bed. But I'm just I'm paying my money for this. And two, I started this degree for a purpose. My whole big endgame master's in psychology and a lot of other masters accompanying that. I want to start a organization that has different services, legal services, mental health services, and stuff like that. And I can't do that if I'm not educated enough. So I had to choose then between external relationships, partying and everything, and discipline. And I just chose discipline. So
I see that is beautiful. A lot of young people, us, we a lot of us learn vicariously, let's be honest. And then some people are more into the groupthink mentality.
Yeah.
No shade, monkey see, monkey do type of thing. You have to be sensitive. Monkey see, monkey do type of thing. And I think one of the things that you said, which is so beautiful, is that you had to make that radical acceptance. You have to come to some point in your journey where you had that epiphany, and you kind of realize I ain't getting no older.
Yeah.
And also too, based on the resources and the cards that you've been dealt in life, you have to choose different. Yeah. Some of us are not born with a silver spoon. Some of us are not privileged. We have to work. We have to put the work in, and the investment and the sacrifice. You have to start when you're early and when you're young. I keep telling people think their 20s is for the partying and the wasting of time. It is to learn, and it's to gain experience. But also, you have to invest in your future self.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to invest in your future self. And throughout history, how many times we have seen people party and all of this, and then when they get older, what is the story? What is the story?
Listen, I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. I totally agree with you. And that's the reason, back to authentic, that's one of the things too, where it's I get it. Sometimes you have to get out of bed. You have to find that courage to say, I'm doing this. Yeah. I'm doing this. You gotta
invested, like for me, I invested resources, time, effort, went to go become a whole life coach, the whole certificate program, did all of that to get to this point where it's like, I have to keep doing this. And you have to not make it about the cheers and the applause. As you said, you lost people. Can't make it about the validation. You have to validate yourself and what you think is important. But you seem like you're on your way. And no, I have to commend you, especially young, Black, and especially in the Cayman Islands and Caymanian and doing your thing. I have to really say kudos to you.
Thank you.
Because there's not a lot of young people who choose this route. And when you do, I think we spend a lot of times bashing people and scrutinizing and judging people, but we don't spend enough time uplifting each other.
And getting to know, like...
Get to know the story.
Below.
All right, so my other question to you is, what are some of the daily habits that you use to help to keep yourself centered?
Okay, so I have a few, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not consistent. So it's not every day.
It's a process.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah. So if I get overwhelmed at work, or I'll stop, collect my thoughts. I'll write down what I'm feeling, whether it be good or bad. If I'm upset, I'll write down that I'm upset, whatever it is. And then I'll go back over that list, and I'm just like, what's causing me to feel this way? Just like a short reflection to then see if I could come up with especially at work, come up with a quick solution. Then when I get home that same day, I'll just see like how I can maybe make tomorrow better. And then something more, I would say that I definitely do every day, my notes app. That's my therapist. I will go in there and I just journal any intense emotion that I felt throughout the day, whether it was intense happiness or intense anger, whatever it was, I'll just write it down and just keep note of that. And it was actually a tip, because I was in therapy in the past. It was a tip she gave me. That way I could keep in control of my emotions, and rather than letting my emotions control
you.
Yeah. So I just started writing it down.
That's a beautiful tip. I call that, because I do that for myself and I practice that, and I journal a lot as well. I call that identify or list the emotion. It's like a matching chart. You will see that chart with like the smiley faces, and they ask you, how do you feel today? Happy to sad. Like, which emotion matches how you feel? And that's something that I do too. But that takes emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And they have this thing where, well, it's kind of true, where women tend to be a little bit more. But then again, society also creates a room where men are not allowed to show emotion and be emotional and be connected to themselves. But also, I feel like as a human being, one of your highest expression is to feel.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we have so much angry people in the world, because we're not allowed to express ourselves. And especially as men, we're not allowed to be emotional creatures.
And, I never understood that whole social theory, because it's just like, you're telling me that a man should not be allowed to show his emotion. It's seen as weak. But then the psychology of it, like when it builds up and then he reaches his limit and it pours out onto you or something that he's doing, he's then seen as violent or can't control his emotions, or they don't look at why it's happening, they just look at the situation at hand.
I think a lot of times we tend to be very problem based, and we don't really focus on the solutions. And that's something that I tell people, like, you have to be a solution based mindset. I'm more of, how do we fix it? Okay, we have a problem, let's not complain about it. Let's strategize what are the next steps. And also social conditioning, I think even with Hollywood, just interactions, culture, norms, a lot of times men are placed in the position of being the protector, being the guider, and it's almost as if people, the emotional part of it is just not there. It's just not needed. People tend to believe that being logical and emotional, they're two different things. It goes hand in hand, because also you have to be able to have a level of discernment and listen to your intuition and also guide you. It's not like God make woman with emotions and man just don't have none.
Exactly.
It's not like it's a software and then you could, all right, uninstall that part of them. It's a part of who you are. It's a part of who you are and it's a part of your whole DNA structure. You know, you just have to know how to regulate it.
Yeah.
It's not about having emotion, but it's the regulation of emotion. But that's a whole can of worm, and we could talk about that from today till tomorrow. And maybe I'll invite you back for another episode, and we could definitely talk about that. So, my other question is, how do you protect your creativity, your purpose when life gets overwhelming? Because you talk about the emotional regulation, you talk about all those practices. So now when life gets overwhelming, how do you protect your creativity?
Well, I have this one friend, and all right, so I'm very like, I'll write songs if I'm down. I actually wrote a song when my grandfather passed. I'm very like artsy. So if life is like to the point where I'm not like, I don't want to write anything, I'm just fed up, I don't know how, I'll just turn it into a song. Or I have this one friend I can call, she'll pick up even if it's 2 a.m. in the morning. I'll call her, let her know how I'm feeling, and she'll just like do random checks throughout the day to ensure that, okay, I'm staying on track. Like, I do acknowledge my emotions, but because of past experiences, I've learned to like not let it determine how I view the world. Like, there's this saying, two people can go through the same day, have the same experiences, and remember it differently because of what's going on internal. So I try to just stay objective. If I'm upset, if I'm sad, I try not to let it determine how I view what's going on, you know, and I protect all my creative thoughts, all my goals, everything I'm doing. By just not telling anyone.
You know, the funny thing you said that there, I've heard about this 90-day rule where once you're working on something, within the first 90 days, you keep it to yourself. You know, you don't tell anybody about it. You work on it. And when that 90 day is over and you've obviously compressed yourself in it, you understand, you know, you feel comfortable, then you share. But that is so true. I believe in that too.
A reason I say that too is like, let's say you're just starting something out, right? You're not fully, you don't know much about it.
Yeah, you're still working on the logistics.
Yeah. And you go and tell someone who don't see your vision, who don't understand where you want to go, the fear that's in their mind
is going to be projected
onto you. Exactly. And then you're going to start doubting yourself. Should I really do this? Can I actually do this? And me, I'm the type of person, I will jump and then on the way down, decide how I'm going to land.
Yeah, you see, I think that's a creative, trait, because I'm the same. I'm very, let me start and we'll figure it out. I have this thing, I said it to someone I was helping the other day. Everything is figure outable. And I don't even know is that a word? Everything is figure outable because you take the leap and then nothing that currently that we're doing and we're seeing has never been done before. It's done before. It's just recreating it and reinventing it. So I could promise you and assure anybody, if you're actually thinking about that idea, you're thinking about starting that business, you're thinking about taking that leap, do it. You'll figure out the details when the time comes. But you have to harness on that moment because it's almost like a burst of energy within that moment. And you're just not sure when that's going to come back. It's almost like a moon cycle. You don't know when the next full moon will come. So you better go. Better go and you figure out the pieces along the way. But that is beautiful. But you see, it goes back to again, I have conversations with women and it's just so different. And as I said again, society creates that room for women to be emotionally intelligent, for women to prioritize, their needs and wellness and attention and mental health and pour into themselves and self-development. I'm not saying those resources not available to men.
But it's not advocated for as much.
Not advocated.
And that's kind of why I'm so determined to start an actual, mental health hub with, as I said, legal services and all of that. Not just for females, and it's not going to be branded as something where females feel comfortable. Because a lot of time, as you said, men, they're just not given the opportunity. So then when they get older, they don't know how. Like, even if you should say, allow them to now express their feelings, it would be an uncomfortable situation.
It will definitely be a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
They have this theory where, and they have this theory where they speak of habits and character trait. It takes a man 25 years to have that predetermined character traits and habits and whole concept of who he is, because the frontal cortex in their brain becomes fully developed.
At that time, yeah.
And I think a lot of times with that, my belief is sometimes when men get to that certain age and they've already have this predetermined and pre-programmed, concept of who they are and type of habits, it's very difficult for you to try. What I say, you have a tree in the tree from it young.
Yeah.
You can't, but you can break the tree. And that's and that's a disaster. So I think it's a lot of that too. And as you said, the advocacy is not there.
Yeah.
The resources also are not readily available. And also I think sometimes a lot of men, for me personally, and not just men, but people, I think as humans, we have this thing where, I've made it, I reach.
Yeah.
I don't care about nobody else.
Yeah.
I've made it, I'm good. So why should I advocate for the other person? But we should remember that no man is an island. The earth literally has 8 billion people plus at this point. God never make one person, sorry. He had 2 people.
Yeah.
It happened that we procreate and now we have the whole the population. It simply means we need each other. Just like everything else, the trees, the air, it's a symbiosis relationship.
Yeah.
And as humans, I think we're so disconnected to forget that we need each other. We are our brother's keeper. Each one teach one, each one help one. And it's when we reach our hands out and touch the other person and show them that there is a different way. There's a different way. And that's why you should tune into Authentic. That was not a plug, by the way. But
no, it's true. It's true. I just sometimes I just feel bad, like when it comes to men and mental health. And then there's also the stigma. Like, listen, we could go on and on about this, like for days.
Yes.
The stigma behind it, that's what I want to break. I want to clear that. That's a goal for me.
I love that. A young lady with a vision, with a mission, with ambition, and she's doing her thing. Keiosha. Wait, did I get that wrong?
Yes. No, you said it kind of correct.
You see, I would just be butchering this girl name all this time. It's Keiosha? Keiosha? Or
Keiosha.
Keiosha.
Yeah.
You see, I should remember that because I keep saying kimono. So, okay. Keiosha.
Yeah.
My apologies. All right, so the big question which I ask everybody when they come onto the show, what does authentic means to you? It wouldn't be an authentic show if we didn't ask that.
True. All right. To me, to be authentic means to just, one, accept where you are in life, even if it's not where you want to be. Don't try to compare your timeline with someone else's, because I'm a firm believer in nothing don't happen before time. So, just stay true to who you are in the moment and accept yourself, because if you don't accept who you are, you cannot expect anyone else to accept you. That's first and foremost. So just to be authentic to me just means know where you are and know where you're going and just be content with it.
All right, girl. No, listen, couldn't say it any better. Work on your authenticity today. All right, so I want to ask you, because we're in the Cayman Islands, and we know how the Cayman Islands community is. It's a small group of people, small community. And I want to ask you a little bit about, your life in the Cayman Islands, growing up and centered around that. So my first question is, how has growing up in the Cayman Islands shaped the way you handle stress and finding peace?
Okay. So I'm going to do the stress part first.
Okay.
So if I'm being honest, like growing up, I was the type of person, Mommy, don't listen to this. If I'm crying or if something is wrong with me, you won't know. You will not know. I'll laugh. I'll just finish laughing with you. And then 30 minutes from now, I'm in my room crying, bawling out my eyes. And I just think it's because in Cayman, one, because it's so small, especially like if you're in high school or, just leaving that stage, you'll confide in someone. And then if it doesn't spread, then that person will start treating you differently, or, just stuff come from it. And then because Cayman is such a small community, like across the 3 islands, don't get me started on Bragg, when someone shows like signs of mental health issues or something like that, they're stigmatized. And like for me, I'm not diagnosed with anything, but if I was to like do an assessment or something, I would say, like, just going off a glint here, I think I have high functioning depression or something, because it's like I can function absolutely normal. You'll never know nothing is wrong with me. But just because of how I was raised in Cayman, to like just kind of keep that to myself, I just learned to like deal with my stress on my own. I never really felt comfortable going to anyone out of fear of them like sharing it with someone else, or just treated me differently, because I've seen them do that to other people. So,
Yeah, I think that's such an interesting topic. And that's one of the reasons too why I started Authentic, because I mean, I'm not originally from here. I've grown all my years in Jamaica. And I'm an introverted person, but I'm also an extroverted person. I'm a life of the party when needs be.
Yeah.
But also I've been a loner for a very long time in my life. And one thing I could say is it has given me the skills to be self-sufficient, be self-preserving, to understand my humanity and also understand the humanity in others. But leading back to my question that I asked you and your response is, one of the curiosity that I have is to navigate the community and the social interaction of the young people, because as you said, a lot of people will suffer in silence. And Authentic is created to create a community where people feel comfortable sharing, like-minded people who feel like they just don't fit in. They don't have nobody to talk to. They just don't know where to go. Unauthentic, it's a group of close-knit people who understand that we all go through things, and we all need somebody to be there for us. And I want to create a platform and a doorway so people could walk through when they're ready to know that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have mental health issues. It's okay to be depressed. But the point is, how do we fix it?
Yeah. So
we're not staying in the dark rooms, not cutting you. We're not staying in the dark rooms. We're not isolating. We're not self-sabotaging. We are supporting each other, and we are taking the proper steps to get to a better place.
Yeah, I agree with that so much. And it brings me to like the second part of the question: how has growing in the Cayman Islands determined how I found peace in troubling times? I don't think really Cayman has anything to do with it, but maybe it do. Me and my sister were like really, really, really close, even though she's like 3 years younger than me.
And sister is here by the way, playing mini director.
I don't know. I would just have her when we were small, she would always, like, nothing bothered this little girl, like, nothing at all. And then I would always be the emotional one. So I'm just like, what if my little sister, if it's not bothering her, why is it bothering me?
Oh.
And I just kind of changed my perspective on certain things, and we would talk about it. And, it would just kind of give me a different perspective on viewing a situation. Yeah.
That's beautiful. But as I said, it goes back to what I said. No man is an island, and we all need each other. And it's so great. And sometimes people make it about age. They have to be older.
Yeah.
But if you could have seen that in your own sister and took a page from her book, we know that Cayman is a small community, but full of opinions, as you mentioned. How do you stay grounded while navigating?
Yeah, I think I said something about this earlier. Like, with Cayman, if you tell anyone, and I mean friends, family, anyone, what you're working on before you started or before you reach a milestone in that goal, you're setting yourself up for failure. Because you're inviting opinions, and this is something I've seen. Like one of my friends, she was here, she had a nails business. No one in Cayman wanted to book with her. As soon as she went to Jamaica, her business kick off. She has like a lot of clients in Jamaica, and it's based on UWI campus. You know, all them college girls.
Yeah. They'll be doing that thing.
Yeah. So now everyone in Cayman is actually reaching out to her, asking when she's coming back on island so they can do their nails. So the thing is, in Cayman, you don't really have that support until you've reached a certain level. And it's something I've seen over and over again, not just with her. So it's just like, I've learned if I'm working on anything, my circle is very small, 3 persons, my sister, my husband, and that friend.
Right there.
So if anything, I just tell those 3, because I know if they're saying something is wrong with it, they're not like trying to push me away from the idea. Instead, they're saying how we can fix it to make it better. So I'll just tell them. But other from that, I'm keep my business to myself.
Yeah, I can understand that in a close-knit community, you know. But one of the things, you know, with that, what I would say is, and I hate to say it, and I'm not just talking just here, we have a lot of broken people. Let's be honest.
We do.
You know, and my personal journey, you know, becoming this person talking about authenticity and growth and all these positive things. I was going to say I feel like, but I know I was such a self-focused person. Because as a young person, we tend to be me, what I want, and I am, you know, the prettiest, and blah, blah, blah. You feel so confident. You feel like, you know, you're the shizmanic, you know? But I think it is when I had that shift where the spotlight, you know, came off of me and it started to focus on other people. And that's when I saw that, oh, hey, you're just like me. You know, you're going through the same things. You feel the same way. We just don't talk about it. But it comes back to what I said. A lot of people sometimes project their fear onto you. And that comes from being in a close-knit, you know, area where everybody feels like the other person is judging them. So guess what? I'm going to judge you before you judge me. So it is...
You sum that up so perfect. Like,
I am going to judge you before you judge me, because guess what? You ain't getting the best of me. And I think a lot of people feel that way, but they don't understand that that's not healthy. That is not productive. That don't make no sense. And it takes sometimes people to get to rock bottom, have that epiphany, to come back to the space where it's like, no, man, I need to live my life looking more better.
And you know, I think some of them too, it happens to them unconscious, because that's just the environment they grew up in. So it's like, that's what they're seeing.
It's involuntary.
Yeah. So I just feel for them, honestly.
Exactly. But I have this thing where my friend would say something to me, and you know, it might probably be a negative connotation or something positive or whatever. And I'd be like, honestly, I get it. I understand. But the only thing I could pray is that they find the healing that they need. And that's you can only wish people well. Words have power. And the things that you put out there, you might be putting out there on someone else, but it has a way of cycling back to you. So for me, I don't believe in downing anybody, talking ill of anybody. I will speak truth and I will speak fact. Because, you know, you can't deny the facts. But besides that, you can only wish people well. You know, and hope they find the healing that they need. Namaste. So my last question to you is, and my final question, we had such a lovely interview, and I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, sis, behind the camera, for joining us as well. Very powerful, very impactful. You know, authentic is all about advocating for the people who cannot advocate for themselves. Being the voice, the light, the beacon for people who don't know what's going on, but they want help. They don't know where help is coming from. That is what authentic is. And I'm creating the doorway, especially with impactful and young people who are on their move, like Keiosha. Please,
correct.
Thank you, who is doing her thing. So my final question to you in closing is, what message, I want you to look right on the camera right there. And I want you to tell me,
what message would you give young Caymanians who are on their journey, who want to take that leap, who want to heal, who are grappling between peace and chaos?
Okay.
I want you to look in the camera and I want you to give a final message to those young viewers that are looking and watching.
So first, I want to say, stop falling for the propaganda that you have your whole life ahead of you. Just because you're in your 20s and you're young, no. Listen, as you blink, you're 30-something. Start whatever you want to do now. Heal now. Don't let trauma pass down. You have your kids, you didn't deal with what you need to deal with, and it's generational trauma. Like, break it. Go get your education, and I want you guys to stop romanticizing leaving school early and settling for a minimum wage job. Like, I personally believe if I see someone with it, that means it is possible. You could have a white, black, Chinese, French. From you have it, that means I can get it as well. So stop thinking you have your whole life to go get something and get it now. If the worst case scenario, you get all your education, get the highest paying job young, you have the rest of your life to travel, spend time with your family, do what you want. Why you gonna waste the most precious time, the time when you're actually young, when your mind is working properly, you don't have no disease, no nothing, and you're gonna waste that on partying, drinking, poisoning your body, when you cannot put it to something useful where it actually benefit your future and the economy of your country. So my advice is just to start. If it's a business, start it. If you want to go back to school, get a degree, do it. If you want, and one last thing too, even if you're content with your job, right? Because I'm very content with mine. Still start something of your own, because until you do, you're just working to make someone else richer. You'll never be in a job, you'll never be in employment and have time freedom. You're trading the most precious currency that you can never get back, and that is your time. So just think about that. That's it.
Well said. Well said. And I'm going to add a little bit to that. Believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. Dream big. The sky's the limit. Don't let nobody tell you can't do it. Mm-hmm. Figure it out. It's figure it outable. Remember that.
Figure outable.
Right, that's so. Everything that you dream can be a possibility. And we've seen that. If man could take himself and go to the moon, that's truth. Whatever say, and see Elon Musk try to go to Mars right now.
Listen.
So believe in yourself, dream big, and create your own identity. I think a lot of us get caught up in the noise and we forget who we are. Mm-hmm. Figure out what authenticity means to you. Mm-hmm. Figure out who you are at your core. Love yourself. Stop romanticizing love. Mm-hmm. Focus on your education. Yes. Focus on your own personal development. And also, if you're going to be in a relationship, please judge a person by their character, not the words that they say, because words are so easy to say. Mm-hmm. Anyway, from one authentic lover to another, thank you so much again for joining us.
Absolutely, and I would love to come back.
Please, yes. Please. And listen, we're manifesting, we're putting it out there in the universe. When girl get big and she get her bachelor's and she get her master's and the company start up and all that, we're looking at our authentic partnership.
Yes.
To advocate for the young people. I want to say thank you guys so much again for joining us for another episode of Authentic, the show that we speak about love, authenticity, and healing. Remember to follow us on CMR TV, follow me on social media. Also, you could reach Keiosha.
Yeah, so it's Vibing with Kay on Instagram and Facebook. And then my business page is Glow Getaway Co.
All right, get your glow on. Go and follow her. Go and check out her stuff. Follow the show. Remember to be kind. Remember to be authentic. Remember to be a seeker of knowledge, because knowledge is power and healing is ongoing. Remember to love yourself. Remember to be kind. And thank you so much for joining us for another episode. Stay authentic.